One thing that is important to me is to bring people from different cultures together. So I actually work to provide an ethnic studies curriculum at our school to connect students from different backgrounds, different races, and different cultures. So I thought it was a very good way to get to know each other better and respect each other more.
Every neighborhood needs a powerhouse. You need somebody that cares enough about that neighborhood to be willing to go with any group coming through to fight for that neighborhood.
My friends right now, they're like in gangs, things like doing drugs, and I'm here playing soccer.
People are actually starting to talk to each other again, and it all boils back to that. And if it hadn't been for the garden here, that might not have happened.
Seven years ago, I would not come out in my backyard and sit out on my front step or go meet my neighbors. I just would not do it. I stayed in my house and I stayed to myself. And now I don't, because I got really, really involved with the area and then the community.
I moved here in 1964, and it has always been a beautiful place to me. When I was 13, it was really a showcase. So that picture stayed embedded in my head. So when it started going down, my dream was to find somebody that could work with us and help pull it back up.
There's a lot of immigrant students come to my school, and I saw them. They are standing in the hallway, and they are like, where should I go? Where should I do? I step up to help them, to ask them, what can I help? I think be proactive is really important.
Here at Villa Cesar Chavez, there's a coach. His name is Jesus Ocampos, and I know kids that grew up playing soccer with Jesus and really look up to him for guidance, and they see him as a leadership figure, but also as kind of a parental figure. And I think that's very important for a lot of the youth here.
In another way, like he's another father for me, because like I see him every day. I go to his house, I talk to him.
I found that when I volunteer, if I talk to people like over at the senior building, some of them know me, some don't, but you tell your friend, I'll tell my friend, and so on. And they all come out and volunteer, and they find out volunteering is not so bad after all. You don't always have to get a paycheck. It's really a glorifying feeling of just being able to do something, and you feel good behind it.
If it were up to me, I would love to see a Betty on every block.
A garden is sort of a neutral spot. No particular person owns this property, so it's safe to come here to communicate. Because of that, like I say, it's the flowers, the vegetables, the neighborhood, it's been growing.
We used to be considered in the ghetto. This used to be a really, really bad neighborhood. It used to be violent and crime. We all got together, we stopped it. I've been there for 2 years, going on 3 years. I've been the coordinator for the garden. I help rent out the boxes. I do all the little runs around and get all the donations for, like when we do the block parties and when we feed the police department and all those guys. And I just kind of got pushed out there, and I just kind of like I stand my ground now.
Pam is a pit bull. She gets on a project, she sinks her teeth into it. She doesn't turn loose until it's done.
It seems so small, but yet it's so large when you empower people with information and skills, and NeighborWorks does that. The trainings that they offer, that's what allows everyday person to step it up and make that big impact.
By this little garden, what it did is it transformed our whole entire neighborhood. A couple of years ago, I drove down here. I worked the afternoon shift, and this is only a 4.5 block radius. It had the highest calls for service. Our numbers of arrest, our numbers for disturbances, they're down in this community, and now we can actually go and do this kind of work in other neighborhoods to make our city a better place.
with this festival, I think that's the best thing that could have happened to Auburn Gresham. And for the first time, we even got the mayor out here too, so that means we're growing. That means we're being recognized. It's just like a shot in the arm, a big boost. I'm proud of it.
It might really sound cheesy to outsiders, but they tell me, they say thank you so much. I've learned what it means to be a leader. I've learned about community. I didn't know what community meant. Now I am not afraid to ask a question.
A lot of people here are immigrants, and I feel it's very important for us as youths to help them out because they're struggling and we know what problems they have in their lives. So as a person who also underwent that the same process, I think it's important and necessary for me to help them out too.
It's wonderful because this is where I come when I need to get re-energized to do the work, or this is where I come when I need just to, feel like the work that we're doing is having impacts because you could see it here.
The revitalization piece, the community engagement piece, when we go out and talk to people, that is how we bring our people into the rest of our programs. And NeighborWorks is so critical because without the Community Leadership Institute and without the NTIs that we attend, we wouldn't have the skills to go out and share that. And my residents who I take to the Community Leadership Institute would not have the skills to share all the information that we have to offer.
Having residents engaged works twofold. One, they become engaged and we find them and then we work with them on whatever projects they're working on. Or secondly, sometimes they may come to us for services and then we in turn ask them to work with us and they become volunteers and engaged in the community. So it works both ways, and it's really important to do this kind of work. You can't do it in a vacuum. You cannot do it without the residents. The community would just be bricks and mortar.
Our resident engagement is really about a focus on empowering residents to make a difference in their own communities, trying to help them understand that they do have a voice and their voice is important and their voice needs to be at the table. And how can they bring other people to the table at the same time?
Residents' involvement, resident engagement is really the linchpin of making our community strong and prosper. And I think NeighborWorks has really been able to help Asian Americans of equality to do that.
Ultimately, whether you live in Los Angeles, whether you live in Deadwood, South Dakota, your needs are the same. You still need to have a relationship in your community and with others in your community. You need to be able to share what you know with others and learn from others and just have a sense of belonging.
You have to take pride in what you do. You got to take pride in yourself. You got to take pride in everything that you do for your own home because that shows you that you care about your community.
To me, that's what it's all about. I help you, you help me, we help each other.